Hebrews 4:14 through 16 says, "Therefore, since we have a great high priest who has ascended into heaven, Jesus, the Son of God, let us hold firmly to the faith we profess. For we do not have a high priest who is unable to empathize with our weaknesses, but we have one who has been tempted in every way, just as we are, yet he did not sin. Let us then approach God's throne of grace with confidence, so that we may receive mercy and find grace to help us in our time of need." Jesus, the Son of God, lived a perfect and sinless life here on earth, but he was definitely faced with challenges. Jesus was persecuted, rejected, lied to, spit on, made fun of, and disrespected. Jesus, fully man and fully God, had to deal with hard situations and people just like we do. One of the most comforting things about the gospel story is that Jesus came and lived among us so we could have a Savior who knows the pain that we have to go through. And he willingly suffered and died on the cross so that we may find acceptance, forgiveness, and love from God. Jesus was the suffering servant, the man of sorrows, acquainted with grief. And Hebrews reminds us that we have a Savior who can empathize with our weaknesses and struggles. He was tempted, but he didn't sin. We're encouraged to approach God with confidence in the midst of our struggles so that we can receive mercy and grace to help us when we're weak. As disciples of Jesus, we are to look to his example and his way of life for direction on what to do in the midst of pain. So verse 7 says, "During the days of Jesus' life on earth, he offered up prayers and petitions with fervent cries and tears to the one who could save him from death, and he was heard because of his reverent submission." Jesus came with an honest heart before God, laying down his requests and burdens, but trusted in the Father's good plans. Jesus wept and cried to the Father who was able to save him from death, and yet he said, "Not my will, but yours be done." What would it look like for us to be that surrendered to God's will for our life? Why do we always try to take things into our own hands when we can just look to Jesus for comfort and guidance? And whatever you're going through in this season, take heart and remember that Jesus is our empathetic King who sees you, knows what pain is like, and sent his Spirit, the Comforter, to be with you. I pray that God would fill you today with his peace that surpasses all understanding and with confidence to approach his throne of grace today.